I know I've made a lot of discussion videos, but I like talking about Save the Earth Melee. Just to recap, for those in the back who don't know any of this, the way they're doing the Godzilla character in Save the Earth Melee is as follows. There will be a Showa Godzilla, a Heisei Godzilla, and a Millennium Godzilla. Millennium Godzilla is basically just going to be Godzilla 2000 from the base game, but fixed. It's generic enough of a moveset that all of the versions of Godzilla from the 2000s are going to be able to fit onto that. As you can see in the presentation where they revealed that. It's also going to have Double Smash Godzilla on it. Double Smash fans unite. But we haven't seen the other two yet. We have seen the MonsterVerse Godzilla. There is a trailer for MonsterVerse Godzilla on Goji Rex's channel, and I encourage everyone to watch that. Hell, even Moist Critical has watched it. So you have no excuse. But that's going to be a separate character. I believe Shin Godzilla is also slated to be worked on, but again, that's going to be a separate character. I really don't think anyone would believe that Shin Godzilla will be able to slot onto any other version of Godzilla. He is that unique. We do know that Mozu Goji, 1964, from Mothra vs. Godzilla, probably one of the most iconic designs in the franchise, and King Goji from the original King Kong vs. Godzilla in 1962. We know that those two are going to be in the game, but I'm actually not going to talk about the skins today. I did that a little bit in the last video, and there's only so much ground to cover in terms of skins for Godzilla characters in this game. So, rather, I want to talk about how our boy is going to play. This is the model of Godzilla in 1964. I just want to prove that I'm not a fake fan by having these in the videos. But Showa Godzilla is a character that pretty much every young Godzilla fan who has played this Pipeworks trilogy has thought up of a moveset for. And I know this because I was around during the time when Colossal Kaiju Combat was a thing, and people were discussing at that time how a Showa Godzilla moveset would look. Obviously, I'm not going to go through a full moveset, but of course, there are a couple of things that I think should be in the moveset, and I'm pretty sure they would be anyway, but I figured I could talk about it. Godzilla flying in Godzilla vs. Hedorah is almost undoubtedly going to be a part of the Showa Godzilla's moveset in some capacity. Due to the way he flies, I doubt it's going to be like any of the other flying characters which can just jump and then hold jump in order to fly. I imagine this would be more akin to Godzilla 2000's forward kick attack, which is really just a rush down. He just charges head first towards the opponent. Kind of like the dash move in Godzilla Unleashed now that they've backported the animation for that. This, the flying move, doesn't really seem like something like that though, in that you're probably not going to be able to control it. I could just imagine Godzilla turning around, blasting a certain distance, and there just being kind of a wide hitbox, kind of representing the wide berth of destruction that would be in the wake of Godzilla after doing such a maneuver. Maybe this could be his special ability, pressing the two bumpers, because there's another move that I imagine is going to be a dash attack kind of thing. And what I mean by that is the forward kick move that I just suggested. I don't think this would be like a move that you could just throw out while in the run animation, if you get what I'm saying. Much like flying, I imagine, the infamous drop kick is probably going to make it into the game in some form. This I see as more of a standalone attack, much like the rushdown attack for the forward kick for Godzilla 2000. But, I mean, I imagine the dev team seems to like to steer into some of the goofy shit about this franchise. I mean, they put in the skins for Godzilla Unleashed Double Smash for Pete's sake. So I imagine this is one of the things they're going to add to the game. It was probably the first thing they thought of when they were designing the Showa Godzilla moveset. Through the wonderful powers of piracy, I've been able to find the clip of this moment. This is a move that I also think probably should be in Showa Godzilla's moveset. And it's personally one of the goofier Showa Godzilla moments that I don't think gets as much light as it should. Maybe it's because it's from a better movie. Here's the Magnetism moment from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. I really think this could be an interesting gimmick for the Showa Godzilla, and let me explain because I actually have a kind of mechanical understanding of how this could work. I imagine that Showa Godzilla, you perform the initial grab with the left trigger, and even if it whiffs, if you keep holding the button down, he starts pulling them in with the magnetic powers that he has. And it's not like they don't have this in the game in some form already for another character. You know, one of the principles of software engineering and programming is reuse as much code as you possibly can. Even in the base game, Megalon has kind of like a move that can suck you in. So I just make it so that when you whiff the grab, if you keep the trigger held, it just creates kind of like a gravitational pull. But Henry, that only occurred because Mechagodzilla was made of metal in the original film. I'm sure even the dev team would agree creative liberties can be taken when it involves fun. Although this probably could also be a competitive thing, I don't know. I'm also curious how they're going to do the atomic breath, because the Showa Godzilla's atomic breath is markedly less potent than the other versions of Godzilla. Starting obviously with the Heisei series and moving forward from there. Originally I thought maybe this could be kind of like the base game version of Baragon's breath. You know, his flamethrower, where you just kind of throw it out and it doesn't really function like one of the stay in one spot beam weapons. But then I remembered there is a beam clash in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 1974, and they do seem to have changed the speeds and potencies of several of the beam weapons in the game as it stands. So maybe they just have to do some creative stuff with that just to make it look like it does in the movies. I really don't think Showa Godzilla is going to be rearing back and letting out an atomic blast that has nearly the potency that either Heisei or 2000 Godzilla have in the original game. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. I just wanted to kind of make a video saying how I think Showa Godzilla should play. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and see you next time.